We are here at Label Expo in Mexico, and we just a few minutes ago had an interview with Duane, who's the CEO of Mark Andy, and now we're going to talk to a guy that has, I would say, probably put his fingerprint on Mark Andy more than most. So Dave, welcome in English.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
I mean, 40 years ago, the first day you came to Mark Andy, how was it?
It was a family-owned business, and it's just been an amazing place to work for. Just a good career. We have a long history of just great values. Taking care of the customer. The customer's always first. And the thing I like most about Mark Andy is it's consultative. We don't just try to sell you a product and move on. We want to make sure that when you buy a product from us, that you're happy with it. It's the right product. You know what? And even if we don't sell that product, we'll recommend the right product, and that's a true partnership. And that's really what Mark Andy's about.
And I would say that gives you a lot of trust from customers, understanding that value proposition. Right?
That's exactly right. Being transparent, being very forefront, and trust is everything. If you don't have trust, you're not going to grow. People don't want to work with somebody that you can't trust. And it's just, your growth is our growth, and that's our model right now.
I saw that, and I asked whether that would be the new tagline, and it was confirmative, I can say.
I tell you what, it's exactly right. Seriously, if you're not growing, we're not going to grow, and we want to grow together. And that's really how Mark Andy started. If you think back in the early days when I first started at Mark Andy, the equipment was a lot smaller than it is today. It was like the 830, these little central impression small presses. And now look what we're doing. We're doing high definition digital printing, massive machines.
One of the things you told me before we turned on the camera was like that you've been, obviously when you've been 40 years in an organization, tried a lot of different things and got a lot of experience. I'm not asking you so much into details about this, but that has probably led you to the position that you have today, because you know every little inch of the organization and the machines, right?
You know what, that's so true. And I'll expand upon that. You think about another thing about Mark Andy, I'm not unique. I might have 40 years here, but a lot of the people at Mark Andy, there's a lot of tenure here. So there's a lot of experience. I've been here, people ask, why have you been with one company for so many years? Honestly, there's always a new opportunity. There's so many great, I've had so many different jobs, and there's just room to grow. And when you grow in a company like this and you gain all this information, it just makes you stronger. And think about the relationships I've been able to make throughout the years around the world. I come to a show like this, and I know so many people. There's so many people that a lot of times I have to admit I don't remember the names, but it is.
I know the feeling.
It's flattering though, right? When somebody comes up and says, "Hey," But yeah.
So your role today is, you're managing obviously these things, but what is your official title? And I know it was long, so that's why I can't remember it.
All right, so it's a long title. I am the Senior Vice President of Mark Andy Print Products. So what does that mean? So all the supplies, consumables, parts that are used on a machine, that is what my team takes care of. So if you need a new machine part for the press, come to us. If you need tape, you need plates, you need Dr. blades, you need whatever you need in a press room, that is what we provide. We're standing here in front of a Gelima system right here. This is, you think about this, wow, Mark Andy Print Products sell something like this? Well, yeah, this is a job jacket, right? This is something that every print shop has to have. This is how they manage and organize their plates and their jobs.
Yeah, so because typically in Flexo, if you compare to offset, the plates are actually stored and saved for the next job, right?
They are. And so, you think about all the different products. We have not only consumables, but all the press room equipment as well, like plate washers, Analox roll cleaners, plate mounters, all that type of stuff. We're selling that. Roll lifts, everything you need to run your shop, that's what we're selling.
Can't help think about, because I was just like, I can see the convenience for a customer that it's like a one-stop shop, basically, right? But isn't it more expensive to buy from you because you need to source it from somewhere else, right?
You know what? Yes, and I get that a lot. And here's the deal, right? So a one-stop shop is very important. You've got one person, that you can contact, and you can get all your supplies. And again, it goes back to the consultative selling, right? We're going to make sure that you get the right product. And yeah, we're a one-stop shop, but we have a lot of suppliers, and it gives us buying power. So we have really good pricing, and I would say that we are extremely competitive on our pricing. That's not something that's an issue for us.
So being in that position where you can deliver everything that a print shop needs and have competitive pricing, what about logistics? Because I mean, we're here in Mexico. I guess that sending, even though you're close to the border of Mexico, there is a logistics. There might be some custom things. There might be whatever kind of thing. So how do you handle your business when it's abroad?
Yeah, so that's a great question, right? So a big part of our strategy is we've expanded into Europe, and then we're expanding down here into Mexico.
So you have warehouses locally as well?
We have local warehouses, right? And so that helps with the lead times and getting products closer. And also it gives us buying power within those countries as well. So we're sourcing local items as well.
Okay, so that means basically you said that you have an operation in the UK, for example. So that basically means it can source globally, but it can also source locally if a converter has like special needs that can only be served in the UK.
We do, and and that goes both ways when you think about it. Not only does it give us best pricing within that country, we have also found that we're able to find better pricing abroad. And vice versa, right? So it really gives us a lot of buying power and let us really maximize, how we operate, what we can give to the industry.
So Dave, part of the world is of course that we see a lot of changes politically and financially and all these kind of things. But in order to be a global supplier as Mark Andy, do you also think of your business as being, not just European and American, Mexican, but also further down Latin America, maybe even Africa, India, Asia? How do you see that as a potential?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thanks for asking. So that's actually part of our strategy. We're looking to expand globally in the different markets. You can't sell consumable supplies from the United States. You need to be able to supply it locally within the territories. And again, we're setting up Mexico right now, and just the reception from all the customers here. Finally, Mark Andy's here. We can speak to somebody local. There's a lot of collateral that comes with that, right? A lot of credibility that comes with that.
And again, if your purchasing power just grows, it benefits both Mark Andy and all your customers, right?
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Great. Thank you so much.